Hey guys, it's Miss Kara. I am here today to talk to you about citizen science. So in this program, we're going to talk about what citizen science is, why that's something you might want to participate in, and I'm going to share with you a whole bunch of projects that are really cool just in case you're ready to get started today. So first up, what is citizen science? Well, citizen science goes by a couple of different names. It's sometimes called community science or crowd-based science or volunteer monitoring. Citizen science is voluntary collection of data by regular people for use by professional scientists. So to break it down even further, it's where regular people like you and me make observations about the world around us, and then scientists can use those observations in their experiments. All right, so why would you participate in a citizen science project? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One, they can be a lot of fun. Two, if you know later in life that you want to work in a science field, whether it's with animals or plants or even going to space, it's really helpful to start building your skill base now, and citizen science is an easy way to do that. Lastly, by participating, you are helping to form a more complete data set that scientists can use to understand the world that we live in, the animals that we share this world with, and even the universe, which is so cool. So I have an example for you. In 2018, there was a group of citizen scientists, astronomers in Alberta, Canada, and they were noticing this phenomena in the night sky. It was not the northern lights, it was not the aurora borealis. This was sometimes green and sometimes purple, and it was flowing in a different direction than the aurora borealis flowed. And so there was one of these citizen scientists who had multiple recordings of this phenomena, and so he sent them to a local astronomer. And using the images sent by the citizen scientist and his location, time of day, time of year, the astronomer, the professional scientist, was able to get satellite data to figure out what was causing this phenomenon, which had never been recorded before. And it was caused by abnormal ion flow, which is pretty cool that even in 2018, we're still discovering things about the world that we live in. But my favorite part of this whole story is that the guy who discovered it, the citizen scientist, got to name it. And he named it Steve. So one day, maybe you can go to Alberta, Canada to see Steve. So let's talk about how we can participate in these citizen science projects. First of all, you have to answer some questions. Do you want to go outside or do you want to stay indoors? Do you want to participate right now, or are you looking to participate later? Are you interested in animals or plants or space or weather? I'm going to share a few different projects with you now, and I hope that we can find one that works for you. So first I'm going to talk about projects that involve plants and animals. And the first one I want to share with you is one that a lot of people know about. It's from the California Academy of Sciences, and it's called iNaturalist. It's an app that you can use on your phone, and using your camera feature, you take photos of plants and insects and animals that live wherever you live or wherever you're traveling, and then you can upload them to iNaturalist, and that helps to contribute to biodiversity research. And biodiversity is the study of all living things within a certain geographical area. And that's important because places that have high biodiversity are usually really healthy. And then from our own backyard, from the Chicago Botanic Garden, there's a project called Bud Burst, and this one is for trees and other flowering plants. So all this one is you're watching plants and you're reporting what you see. You can do a one-time observation, or you can opt to do a year-long observation. This is a good motivator to get out all year round. How do you feel about frogs? I like frogs. From the Association of Zoos and Aquariums comes Frog Watch. And for this project, you have to go through a training, and it will show you what frogs live in your area, what their calls sound like, and then you make a commitment to monitor a wetland site over a period of time from February to August. And during that time, you're just sort of recording what frogs are calling, if there's more today than there were yesterday. And this one's a lot of fun if you don't mind getting out into the woods. Cornell Lab of Ornithology has a bunch of projects that you can participate in. There's eBird, there's Project Feeder Watch, there's the Great Backyard Bird Count, there's the Christmas Bird Count, there's Nest Watch. I could go on and on. The ones I'm going to talk about today are Project Feeder Watch and eBird. So for Project Feeder Watch, you would set up a bird feeder and then you record the birds that come and eat there. It's pretty straightforward. It's a nice thing to do in the winter because the birds are always looking for food, and it brings a little color and a little life into your yard. eBird is an app, and it allows you to identify birds wherever you are, whenever you have your phone on you. This is kind of a fun one because it helps to give ornithologists a better idea of not just habitat range, but also the migratory patterns of birds. So if you want to check out all of the projects that they have, you can just go to the Cornell Lab of Ornithology website, and there's a huge comprehensive list there. Some of the projects are just for one day, like the Christmas Bird Count, and some of them are for a couple of days, like the Great Backyard Bird Count, which happens in February. Let's talk about weather. So from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, there's the Community Collaborative Rain, Hail, and Snow Network. That was a lot to say. If the weather is the first thing that you want to know about every morning, then you can be one of the people who help scientists to curate a more accurate weather predictions and then isolate weather trends. So there's a brief training for this one, and then citizen volunteers will record daily information on a website provided by NOAA. And then what's weather without water? Earth Echo International runs an annual water monitoring challenge. It runs every year. It starts on March 22nd and it goes all the way through December. And you'll get a kit from Earth Echo, and then you'll test the water quality in your area. And they're looking for ponds and rivers and lakes and streams. And then you will use your kit and you'll test the water quality, and then you'll enter that information into a website database. And then using that information that you get, Earth Echo actually has a kit that you can use. If your water is not as clean as you want it to be, you can use this kit to sort of help your community implement changes so that you can have healthier waterways. And healthy water is good for everyone. Okay, lastly, we're going to talk about space. Have you ever gone somewhere and looked up at the night sky and seen more stars there than you can see at home? So there's a project called Globe at Night, and it's from the National Science Foundation. And Globe at Night helps to measure light pollution. And if you live in a place with a lot of light pollution, you cannot see a whole lot of stars. This project is worldwide, and it helps to measure light pollution because light pollution affects not just our ability to see the stars, but it also affects migrating animals, and it can affect people's ability to get a good night's sleep. So it's pretty important stuff. This next one is really super cool. It's from NASA and the University of California, Berkeley, and it's called Stardust at Home. In 2006, the Stardust spacecraft came back to Earth, and it had all kinds of samples in it. It had a collision with the tail of a comet. What? And there's intergalactic space dust, so that's dust from stars that were created light years ago. And when the scientists got all of the samples out of the spacecraft and they looked at how much there was, they knew that they would never in their lifetimes be able to sift through all of this. So they used a tool called an automated scanning microscope to take pictures of all this stuff, and then they uploaded the pictures to the internet. And using Stardust at Home, you can help them to sift through all of the star stuff and contribute to knowledge about the universe and how it works and how stuff travels through space. Amazing. Last one is called Galaxy Zoo. And Galaxy Zoo is hosted on a platform called Zooniverse. And Zooniverse has all kinds of citizen science projects on there. So if you don't like any of these here, I would say check out Zooniverse. But Galaxy Zoo takes pictures of galaxies that have been taken by telescopes, and then it relies on regular people like you and me to sort through the pictures and then put them into different categories, because as galaxies age, their shapes change. And so the more images that they can have of this progression, the more it will help scientists to understand how galaxies are created and how they age and then how they dissipate or disappear. I don't know about you, but helping to contribute to the understanding of the world around us and the universe, it seems like a pretty good way to spend an afternoon. Citizen science, amazing stuff. If you have a favorite project that I didn't mention here, but you want to share it with me, please do. I love to learn about new citizen science initiatives happening all over the world. Now go forth and make science happen.